Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain on the Xbox One. I am your host, Wayne Moore, aka Mortanius. And when we last left off, we had managed to save Kazuhira Miller, also known as Kaz, our second in command. A good friend. We arrived back in Mother Base and are now in the process of dealing with Revolver Ocelot, another compatriot from our past. It looks like Ocelot is going to give us a bit of hands-on training. Useful. Very useful.
Snake.
Interesting. So the cutscene still carries. Let's go ahead and skip that. Excuse me. And that one. And we're down.
Boss, there's something I want to talk about. It concerns the running of Mother Base. Come meet with me.
Give me just a second. I've got to wash all of this Kaz off of me.
Boss,
Interesting.
come meet with me.
So it doesn't work that way right now.
Okay. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves to be. Like any organization, we need good people, and we need to make good use of their talents. Miller asked me to lay that out for you. Start
For
bringing
you
people
folks
in.
that have played
Use this. It's a
Peace
Fulton
Walker.
recovery device.
You should remember that.
When you're in the field, use it to extract any soldiers or prisoners you want back here. And we'll see if we can't persuade them to join the ranks of Diamond Dogs. Go on. Test it out on the staff here. Anyone you want. First, put them to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? Let's do this, boss.
There's the tranquilizer effectiveness tutorial for you folks. Just a clarification, whenever I tend to play games like this, well, most games I tend to play, if there's an option to go lethally and non-lethally, I tend to go non-lethal my first run through if possible. For this particular game, if you're breathing and you're flesh, I'm snatching you up. You got a job here at Diamond Dogs. I'll discriminate between your skills and levels when I've got time and position to discriminate between your skills and levels. Right now, I need meat for the grinder. Second tranquilizer effectiveness tutorial for you folks. I always found it a little interesting. Everybody gets into this game and off rip, they just start killing any and everybody. And then it's, oh, well, I'll hire you. I'll hire you. It's like everybody has skills. Hire them all. Discriminate when you're in a position to do so.
That's one way of doing it. Now extract it.
I think I'll use the normal method, the tranquilizer method. And here's the Fulton recovery device tutorial for you folks. And there's the second one. All right. What's up?
Let's do this, boss.
Sure. Let's do this.
First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you?
No point in wasting the suppressor. That was the tranquilizer tutorial again. Fulton recovery tutorial again. And we're Fulton. Bye-bye now. See you soon.
Extraction arrived at
You
Mother
can only
Base.
Fulton recover someone if they're not resisting it. No dead bodies either. They don't make great recruits. The staff member you just
Really?
extracted will be assigned to the team best suited to his abilities. See for yourself. Open your eye drawer.
Select staff management from the Mother Base menu.
So that staff member was placed on the R&D team. The R&D team is in charge of developing all kinds of weapons and items that'll support you on missions. Take a look at the development list. Select weapons items under the development heading.
Please specify
That's the R&D
project.
team's development list. See the item called cardboard box? Didn't seem much use to me, but Miller was adamant that you'd want it on the list. The last word in infiltration technology, or so he said. In any case, we don't have the manpower to develop it just yet. We need more staff on the team. Go extract a few more people. Boss, put the iDroid away. You can also Fulton extract individuals you've knocked out. Why don't you try knocking someone out with CQC next? Show them how it's done, boss.
Hi. CQC tutorial. And just so you know, folks, the CQC you use and the position does matter. So what I mean is, Snake has a 5-hit combo. Now, depending on where you're at in terms of the enemy, so if you're in front of them versus being behind them, you might knock them out longer if you're behind them doing the same technique. I love CQC personally. I'm a demon with it.
Don't pull any punches. Try throwing.
Okay.
It's the best way to knock.
There's your throw CQC tutorial. There's the second half.
Someone else. Excellent, boss. Now extract it.
Sure.
Good.
Extraction
complete.
arrived at Mother
One thing I
Base.
should mention. A Fulton extraction won't always be successful. If the person is injured, the shock of it could kill them. And if the weather's unfavorable, well, it could end up going missing. You can determine the chance of success by approaching
What?
the person you want to extract. If you want to be sure you can get them out, best carry them to the chopper instead. All right, extract the next staff member.
Fulton recovery success rate. And the second tutorial. I believe the other one was just Fulton period, but we'll see.
Extract him. Use any method you like. Start by knocking him out, or you can put him to sleep.
Now, that little technique actually is more effective than a tranq rifle. I mean, than a tranquilizer shot. Interestingly enough. But it makes sense. It's trauma instead of a drug being introduced that works its way through your system. Funny little thing.
Extraction failed.
Now, if you have, because you can wake people up when you're Fultoning them, which could be a problem but also useful because they'll call for backup, which might draw attention. Pop their balloon and they'll be knocked right out.
Extraction
Now that
arrived
we have
at
more
Mother
people on the
Base.
R&D team, its level has gone
Unit
up.
function
You should be
added.
able to develop the
Development
cardboard
project
box
has
now.
been added.
Open your iDroid.
There's a few things I can do.
Select weapons items under the development heading.
Please specify
Now select
project.
cardboard box and start development. Just be aware that development has finished.
Development takes time and resources, I believe he was going to say.
Supplies
You can have the
requested.
support unit supply you with weapons and
Supply
items
drop
to develop.
complete.
Think of it as your own personal delivery service.
Yep. And there is your rear echelon support weapon item drops. I always love this little tidbit. This is actually quite interesting to find out that you can do this, because once you find out you can do this,
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. When you call in a supply drop, watch you don't drop it on your head.
You could also do that to
And
enemies.
there it is. Not sure what it's good for, but Miller said you know what to do. Try it out. One last...
Oh, caught that just barely. Cardboard box tutorial. And there are quite a few things you can do with these boxes. Now, here's the interesting thing. It says you can dive out of the box, and you can. But say you're in the box and you stand.
The staff members you extracted were all placed on the R&D team, but that was Miller's decision.
Now, if there's camouflage on the side or front of the boxes, you can trick soldiers. But more than that, if you're in this box and you come across a hill, you can literally sled down the hill. So if speed becomes the thing you want or need, or rather I should say need or want, rather, because I have no doubt people will have quite a bit of fun in these sandy wonderlands with a box sled. But you can do that, especially if you need to get away from certain enemies or whatever.
Think they belong somewhere else? You're free to move them around. Well, that about does it.
Mission
You won't
info
make any
has been
GMP or
updated.
find recruits hanging around here. Board the chopper when you're ready for a mission. Open your iDroid and select a landing zone to tell it where to pick you up. Or if you're still in the mood for knocking guys on their asses, you can stay around here a while. Give the men some practice. Just come pay me a visit.
I wonder if it adds to the whole marking thing right now.
Go for them, not me.
Not going for you, I'm here to talk to you.
Boss, let's practice your CQC. Begin by grabbing.
There's the restrained CQC tutorial. 1 and 2.
Grab someone, you're free to do as you like. Interrogate him, knock him out, kill him. Scratch that last one for me. Go ahead and knock him out.
There's your choking. It's about the same amount of time as a tranquilizer round. And these tutorials will let you know, like, if you have more time with the tranquilizer round or not in these particular instances, just by reading the details.
Good. Go on and extract him.
Restrain again.
Extraction arrived at Mother
Strike an
Base.
adversary repeatedly to knock him out. He'll stay unconscious for longer than if you throw him.
There you go.
Extract the staff member. Starting to
Extraction
feel like yourself
arrived
again?
at Mother
The rest will
Base.
fall into place with some time in the field. Go ahead and call the chopper from your iPhone.
Oh, I will momentarily. Just kind of got to show this personal little tidbit. There's this throw move, as you've already seen the throw. But if you've got multiple enemies in the area, okay, I was hoping to get all 5. You got yourselves a multi-group takedown. Now, of course, with restraint, there are takedowns you could do as well, but some of these are a little temperamental. They're directional based. They're always directional based, but when they're like this, you may put them in a position you actually like that's easier. For instance, if I was to pull him backwards, he'll land on his back. useful, but it would then take him about a second or two to flip on his belly if I needed him to. Whereas like this, he's on his belly, ready to be interrogated. But these are your people, so you can't interrogate them. Also, funnily enough, you can come over here to summon your helicopter. And as you of course see, there are tasks for each mission. You won't see what those tasks are unless you finish that mission or you have done those tasks during the mission. So you can come back. But if you want to, you can come over to the menus and mess with your supply drops, cassettes, helicopter, and log, or you can mess with Mother Base from the other end. But if you so choose, from here, you have a quick system for resupply as well as summoning your helicopter.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Get another shower.
This is P-Quad. On station at LZ.
And that is the introduction to Metal Gear Solid 5 and ladies and gentlemen. Time to begin our sojourn into the Metal Gear universe once again.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
The Burkov, perfect. It's interesting, but a lot of people don't realize the Burkov is actually, sure, it's a standard pistol, but if you upgrade it enough, you can get it to the point of being able to get a tranquilizer Burkov. So basically a full-on standard semi-automatic pistol in the form of a tranq pistol. The Wu pistol is useful, but that constant need to reload after every single shot is a problem.
Mission list updated.
Boss, I know you haven't been back long, but I prepared a list of missions for you. Open your iDroid.
And yes, that is my gun. Your weapons will be seen on the ship, on the ACC whenever you're ready.
Please select a mission.
I've taken the job offers Diamond Dogs has received and made a list of those I want you to consider. Which ones you accept is your call. The objectives of the missions I've added are prisoner rescue, facility sabotage, and high-value target elimination. Probably all a walk in the park for you, but they should help you get back on your feet. I put the mission details on a cassette tape. Refer to it if you decide to accept the mission. We'll receive GMP for completing missions, and extracting soldiers and prisoners will boost our ranks. Building up Mother Base is the first step to achieving our goal. If that means wet work, so be it. We're gonna have to get our hands dirty. I hope you're rested up, because we're not stopping. Not until the pain is gone. The future of Diamond Dogs is in your hands. We're counting on you, boss.
I'll be going back to finish some of that later.
Farming villages in southern Vahan have been subjected to a strategic bombing campaign the past several weeks. The damage is spreading. It's part of the Soviet Scorched Earth operation aimed at wiping out the guerrillas. The target this time is the commander of a Spetsnaz detachment. He's been key to the operation's success. People say this guy's responsible for annihilating the Mujahideen at Tismasi Laman, the Hamid fighters, overnight. He's a tough, experienced commander. Don't underestimate him. The order from my client in the west is to shoot on sight. They want him out of the picture for good. Sorry, boss. This one's purely business. Wet work. A hit on a commanding officer of the Soviet military. Nothing personal. We're only doing this because it gets us one step closer to our goal.
You have to forgive me, folks. There are a few of these upgrades that I'm going to go ahead and get that I know I should. Also, if you're wondering why it is I seem to have so much GMP, it's because playing this previously, the game keeps a lot of what you do during the online aspects of it. And like what you do online, there's no real way to avoid it, even if you're not like messing with multiplayer or FOBs or things like that. There's no way to avoid online like enhancements other than not playing online ever. There are a few of these things I actually want to go ahead and knock out, but there are a couple of extras that are here that I might as well just finish. Just going ahead and knocking all of these off so I'm not looking at new stuff constantly. Eventually it's going to become a problem again, in which case I'm not going to worry about it, but right now, go ahead and get rid of this excess new information. And as you may have noticed earlier, I made it a point to equip C4. We're going to need that. Okay. Almost done, folks. I'll be glad when I get some of those later sniper rifles, assault rifles, and pistols. There are quite a few weapon types in these games I don't use, but that's just because I don't do noisy like that. It's not really my style to be overly noisy. As far as I'm concerned, most of the time, unless being noisy is the goal, being noisy is a mistake. And again, folks, I don't know if you might have caught it in the previous episodes, but games like this, especially when I'm out in the field, they tend to have me very quiet. I get into a very deep kind of stealth brain. Hopefully that won't bother you folks too much. Deal with my bass aspects later. And listen to some of these tapes as I go.
Please select
Should
a
have been
mission.
playing some while I was messing around with the system.
Mission accepted. Heading to Afghanistan.
This outfit I'm putting on now is actually from carrying over my characters, or not my character, my data from Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero. So it's the same kind of suit. Let me see. Okay, where is everything positioned? Because now I've got to... Okay, I remember now. All right. All right. Onward to victory. Sorry about that, folks. That was something like 20 minutes in menus. I may have to figure out those time frames. But I figure you folks would actually like to see what my thought processes are and like some of the choices I make, instead of just popping in and Had a sneeze, folks. Instead of just popping in and having to deal with the results after the fact. Episode 3, A Hero's Way.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him.
Yep.
But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago Calais and eliminate the target.
Anything else, guys? It's too bad you don't have codec like you used to in the older Metal Gear games.
Start by heading for Deshago Calais. Check your map for the location. The target is camped out in that village, dressed as an ordinary soldier.
I missed my loadout.
Be careful down there, boss.
And then a rifle. Sniper rifle with no suppressor. There's a medicinal plants tutorial. There's the second one.
Compounds from plants to make medicine or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need. Then go find them if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy too.
We need them all. It's just certain ones we don't need for long term.
The wormwood, also known as absinthium. That's used to make your phantom cigars.
Yep. Hence, one we actually need.
Golden crescent. It's a type of medicinal plant. We can use that to make tranquilizer rounds more potent.
Nice. Cassette tapes. We can use those to learn more about the world. I have no problem playing all of the cassette tapes. The golden ones are obviously like intentional in terms of catching you back up as well as current events. But the white ones on this tab, the info tab, are designed for world building as well as history. In Metal Gear, you'll get large chunks of actual history, but you'll also get chunks of rewritten history to fit the narratives.
You were hospitalized in Decalia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Decalia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system.
Yep.
That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. Its safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto. Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. Who was that guy? Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
Interesting.
He said I was
Ignoring
in a
my
military
question.
hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent. They hire locally.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost.
After all.
And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
The Kelly is also...
I hate that, but excuse me, whenever you get calls from Kaz, I mean, to an extent, it makes perfect sense that it wouldn't pause your tape, but it should at least pause your tape.
Home to Greek Cypriots, after all. What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south. Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established. And Decalia sits right on top of it. It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around. So how do things stand? Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight.
Is that him?
From the outside.
Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
They all have their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt.
without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames. And then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different.
Go ahead and stop these so we can get some actual mission relevant data.
Plenty of grapevines there. They're not bearing fruit, but they'll still provide good cover.
Good to know. I think I hear the kids in America playing over there.
A Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
Yep.
That's communications equipment used by the outpost CP. It must be how they keep in touch with headquarters. If you destroy it, you might be able to cut off the CP from their HQ.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Нет, не делай этого. I don't know English. Английский.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
Crap. That's not what I wanted you to do. I wanted to focus him because these people see this dude. There's your reloading tutorial, folks. Shut up. Oh, we're off to a fabulous start.
He's coming too. Roger that.
The single shot reloading crap. You know what? I'm fine with restarting. And honestly, I don't know why that didn't hit him, but it should have. And that's what I mean by that single round reloading thing. That is pain. Whoa. Wow.
We can use compounds from plants to make medicine or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need.
I'm
Then
fine
go
with
find them
that.
if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy too.
Didn't actually want to restart, but I'm fine with that.
The wormwood, also known as absinthium. That's used to make your phantom cigars.
I'll let this play while we're getting back over there.
You're up. We're changing ships. We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler. The Suez Canal.
Yep.
When did they reopen it? Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines, Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? Got
gonna transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There, we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road. And then continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains.
Thought I saw
We'll do
something.
better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It's gonna be a tough march. Better horses than boats. Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the loss...
Catch that in a minute.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him.
I
Keep
know.
your guard up.
Now see, me personally, whenever I go for individuals like this, I go for them and their personal guards. They know the best.
Materials help.
And there's your processed materials tutorial, folks.
Already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base.
Yep. Well, didn't mean to do that. There's your rolling tutorial, folks. Cardboard box delivery tutorial, which, as I said, you can use those to move between excuse me, outposts and villages. It's so long as you have the one for the village you're trying to go to, as well as the one for the place you're leaving. So I'll start with you, buddy. It's gonna start with him this time. One thing to be aware of, if you trank him in the head, the light will drop and make a lot of noise. Not fall, but it'll drop and make noise. If you surprise him, it won't happen. But if you trank him and without hitting him in the head, and he gradually gets sleepy, it doesn't happen either.
Нет, не делай этого.
Talk.
I don't...
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
Yep. And just so you know, folks, at night, if memory serves, during the day it's about 40 meters, but at night, 30 meters is the visual distance for somebody to see you pull something like a Fulton extraction.
You gotta extract him.
Go ahead and hit you down the block. So I don't understand any of what you folks say. We'll learn. In turn, we'll learn.
He's coming too. Roger that.
You passing out from those tranks would be lovely. You don't need to see anything. What? I knew I heard something. I knew I'd heard something.
You gotta extract him.
Что ж, что такое? Солдат упал!
Ugh. Jesus Christ. It's because he heard something in the distance. I ended up, one of my tanks hit that way.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Hey, a diamond.
Those are raw diamonds.
Here's a tutorial for rough diamonds for you folks.
Collecting them as assets will raise our GMP.
You didn't hear that up there. Oh no. Wow. I'll leave it alone.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Out. Fine. What? Not happy, but I'll just tolerate it. Ugh.
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun won't be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Yeah, call it in.
Материал противника. Еще последняя точка приготовления. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Будьте начеку и найдите противника. Конец связи.
Supply drop complete.
Ah.
Штаб. Это КП. Понадобился огонь.
Looks like the enemy's lost sight of you.
Потеряли врага.
They're gonna try to hunt you down.
Поблизости. Соблюдайте осторожность. Прием.
Сука.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Кто-то бедолагу унесло на воздушном шаре. Возможно, напали лазутчик. Жду указания. Прием.
Прием.
Это КП. Понял. Последующие потери неприемлемы. Держите ухо востро. Конец связи.
Okay. It's all quiet on the western front.
Development complete.
What I was going to do is this, and then set C4 on their comms, so I wouldn't be dealing with any of the crap I'm dealing with right now.
is giving up the refuge. Stay alert.
Please. Okay. Knock these two out. I'm not even going to ask on in terms of that one.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Воздушный шар, что унес одного из наших. Скорее всего, на базе лазутчик. Мне заняться его поисками? Прием. Это КП, понял. Усилить безопасность и найти нарушителя. Конец связи.
Ouch. I said cover. Ooh, okay. People have got to go, otherwise they're going to start waking up. Weapon emplacement tutorial for you folks.
You gotta extract him.
Воздушный шар только что унес одного из наших. Скорее всего, на базе лазутчик. Мне заняться его поисками?
He's coming too. Roger that.
КП, понял. Последующие потери неприемлемы. Держите ухо востро. Конец связи.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Воздушный шар только что унес одного из наших.
This is a mess from start to finish.
Мне заняться его поисками? Прием. Это КП, понял. Усилить безопасность и найти нарушителя. Конец связи.
Bolting these two at the same time. So there's less of a gap between what's done. I never did figure out, I wonder if you can actually destroy these radios. Destroying radios in Metal Gear was always a thing. Power system.
Target secured. I'll tell the client we sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
Recorded toilet tape.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Come on with it. Oh, beautiful.
So as sandstorms come in,
Yep.
sandstorms effectively make you blind and deaf. But that goes for the enemy too.
Yep.
Use the situation to your advantage.
And he'll stay like that now. So long as he's not found. Even with this sandstorm, he will stay like that. trying to rescue you, little mouse. Ugh, Jesus. Go to sleep. Now there's one thing I need to know.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Where are you? There you are. Once you see me, I will kill you for that.
Outpost captured.
That's what I was looking for. Ah! Okay. Okay. You know what? That's fine.
You destroyed their anti-air radar?
Helicopter.
It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Yep. And that's the plan. So, blew up the power systems, blew up their comms, and then blew up the anti-air radar. And if you want to, you can use the helicopter to Fulton people out.
This is B-Quad.
If you run out of Fulton, because there's no point in me doing this again. I'm out of Fultons, but the mission is done. There's probably something to do over by the outpost, but beyond that, nope.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
And we have finished A Hero's Way, ladies and gentlemen.
Gaining altitude.
You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
As I said, hiring
Buddy,
everybody.
departing area of
Plenty
operations.
of grapevines there. They're not bearing fruit, but they'll still provide good cover.
Departing.
I could discriminate between skills and profession
Coming
levels
too. Roger that.
when I have more skills and profession levels to discriminate between. Right now,
Development project has been added.
all that,
Mission complete.
all that, a B. Yeah, would have been better. But of course, and now of course, support helicopter armaments can now be developed.
How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I'll
Yep.
gone ahead and arrange for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed.
Well, it is D-Horse, and got to be careful with D-Horse, because D-Horse is D-Horse.
Remember the guys you brought back from the base in Cuba 9 years ago? Believe it or not, some of them survived that hell we went through. Word reached them that Big Boss is back and they want it in. They're good men. Our brothers in fate. They'll be glad to know you've seen them here.
As I said, folks, during my Ground Zeroes run, I was going to go back and finish a couple of those side missions and handle that problem. So here we are now. Special volunteers. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, subscribe either on here or YouTube, and it's going to be the end of episode 4. Wherever you are, happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and God bless you folks.